What is going on, everybody? So I'm back today to do another review of a TikTok recommendation. And this is a film that I've been recommended by a couple of people on TikTok, and that film is Emergency, which is streaming on Prime Video. Emergency is directed by Carey Williams. Ready for a night of legendary partying, three college students must weigh the pros and cons of calling the police when faced with an unexpected situation. So this is a film that tries to attempt to juggle comedy and social commentary. I think about a lot of incredible social commentary films that I have really enjoyed over the past couple of years, like Beale Street Could Talk, Moonlight, Black Klansman, The Hate That You Give. There's so many amazing social commentary films that have existed over the years, and this is a movie that tried to balance comedy and social commentary, and it just fails in every aspect. I think of a movie like Get Out, that Jordan Peele does an absolutely amazing job at balancing some highly comedic moments with some really truly gritty and horrifying thoughts on racism in America. And it's balanced so perfectly. The performances are amazing. And in the first 5 minutes of this movie, I felt like I knew 100% what I was getting into. The dialogue was so on the nose that it was just kind of like, it was off-putting at times, where it's like a preaching to the choir moment, that you're watching these people say these things that, like, especially with like a person like me who's incredibly liberal, this film's going to appeal to a much more liberal audience in the first place. And so the whole conversation where they're in the college classroom and there's the British white lecturer who's lecturing on the N-word, and she keeps saying it over and over again, and the guys are like, can she be doing this? I feel like that's not something that would happen on a college campus. I could be completely wrong. There is a chance that that might happen, but it was just kind of weird to me that that was the intro to the film, and I was like, okay, I see what we're getting into. And I saw a lot of comments in the Letterboxd section that people were trying to compare this to Superbad, which is a movie that I really don't like, and the comedy for this didn't work for me. It was very sloppy. To me, it didn't feel like college kids. The dialogue felt like it was written by people in their 40s that don't really understand how kids talk to each other, and that also comes across as really grating to me. I can't stand it in movies when adults write dialogue for college-age kids that just doesn't feel naturalistic or real, and that was really kind of off-putting to me. And the story pretty basically is these two friends who are going to college together, that they want to be the two first African-American kids on their college campus to complete this like party crawl where they're going to go to all these different parties and get on this wall of fame that's all these African-American people who have done these firsts throughout the entire college campus. And so they're getting hyped up and they're ready to go, and they go to their friend's house to pick something up. I can't even remember what it is that they go to get. And they get there, and there is a young white girl who is passed out on the floor of their apartment. And they get there, she's still conscious, but she's like struggling and throwing up, and they don't know what to do with her. And so the one suggests that they should call the police or call an ambulance, and the other one says, no, we're two black guys, they're gonna show up, one of us could get shot, we're gonna get accused for this. And so they decide to not do that, and they originally decide to take her back to the party that she was at before so someone else can call the police. And so it's a series of horrible decisions after horrible decisions that leads to a third act climax that you can really sort of see coming from the beginning. I had an idea that this is how the movie was going to close anyway, and I just found a lot of it to be really grating. The problem is like the decision itself didn't really make any sense, because I mean, at the end of the day, you could have probably just called the police, and if you were really worried about racial aggression or something terrible happening to you, you could just leave the apartment. You could call the police, say, hey, she's in here passed out, and they would take her away. You might get questioned later on, but at least the moment there in that second wouldn't be so heated that you would be worried about it. And that's what didn't make any sense to me, is like, you're calling an ambulance to help someone. Sure, you might get questions, and I understand in this society that we live in now, racism, especially among police officers towards African American people, is horrible. It's at a high rate that's terrible. There's been so many unarmed black people in the United States of America America that have been killed for no reason, and it's an awful, terrible thing that has happened in our society. But I feel like kids on a college campus, especially a college campus that seemed to be more liberal leaning, it didn't seem plausible to me that it would be like immediately like someone would pull a gun on someone in an apartment, like just for that reason. But it just, so much of it felt implausible to me. And that's what became really grating, to where when the third act shows up and things get relatively heated, it almost felt to me like, well, if you would have made a phone call or asked someone at the university for help or done anything like that, that it would have gone an entirely different direction. And that's what I couldn't stand about this movie, was just one bad decision after another, to where the whole middle part of this film kind of blurred together for me. The dialogue is really poorly written. Like, none of it really makes any sense. It's more just like they show up to a place, tell people what they're doing, and the people go, oh no, you shouldn't do this, blah 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 blah. And like, I felt like this probably would have been more effective if it would have been from the first moment to the third act of the film, and this was like a 20-minute short film. It probably would have been a lot more impactful. But I just left kind of feeling empty about this, and thinking about all the other films of poignant social commentary about the way African Americans are treated in our society that are so much better than this. I think of one that's even a little bit more over the top, like the third act of the new Candyman film, and I felt like that was even more poignant and realistic than what I was seeing in this movie, which was trying to be really gritty while balancing that comedic tone that just didn't work for me. And it's unfortunate, because there's a lot of really talented actors in this, and I feel like there was a lot of potential for this to be a really great movie. It just fell short in every way for me. So have you seen Emergency? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was really bad. I didn't enjoy it, which is really disappointing, because I love films that provide poignant social commentary. This one just didn't do it for me. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, it helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.